Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Football Manager 2016 with Fulham. And as you can see, it is the end of April, and oh no, we're in the not the relegation zone, we're in the playoffs. But it certainly feels like the relegation zone because we've been well. If you look at the league position, I think here first, second, third, second, first. There's a lot of first and second there, but we've dropped down because of the goal difference, -5 on Derby, which is not good. However, we have 2 games to go. The first one. It's going to be Brentford and Bolton. I'm going to do these two live. Obviously, Bolton, depending on whether the game actually matters or not, because I'm sure you don't want to watch a dead rubber. That'd be kind of pointless. But we're just going to go over how we got here. So we drew Bristol City in the last game, Ross McCormick scoring that one. And we've, again, had quite a lot of draws. In fact, if I just go on the league here, 14 draws in total. I think that's actually the most, with the exception of Cardiff and Brighton. Yeah, that's the most. Wow. So I don't know why, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. I mean, we've got points out of it. But, it could be better, it could be worse type thing. But we won against Birmingham. Ross McCormick again. Not a particularly great game. This one, you can tell when the games aren't great, but, we managed to scrape a result. Tim Ream doing quite well at the back there. And then say Ross McCormick with the goal. 3-0, nice easy victory over the MK Dons. George Williams, again, fighting his way back into the team with a fantastic 9.2 rating, and Ross McCormick, again, really starting to turn it on now with 2 goals. Then we went on a bit of a winless streak. 2-2 versus Preston, painfully frustrating game. Really, really frustrating. Joe Garner, really good performance. Preston did not play as I expected them to at all. They were bottom of the league. It was actually first versus 24th, and they turned up really, really well. Joe Garner in particular. Matt Smith, I'd give him a chance here. He was garbage. Gary Mackay-Steven, he was seriously garbage. He was having pop shots from all over the place. I think it was because I put shoot on sight on, which I never do, because what ends up happening is when you think shoot on sight, you think, oh, they're going to be 30 yards out and they're going to absolutely pile driver. It's going to be something like that. You're thinking Lampard, Gerrard, Barkley, or someone like that. That's when it's good for. What it's not good for is Gary Mackay-Steven, who's basically on the edge of the box at an impossible angle, attempting a shot in the 93rd minute, which he has no chance of scoring. That's when it gets annoying. So I generally wouldn't recommend using shoot on sight very often, because it's just going to annoy you more than actually benefit you. And then we played a pretty crap 0-0 against Cardiff. This was very frustrating. Another team in the bottom 3, I think. I think at the time they were in the bottom 3. And Richard Stearman got himself sent off, which was always good. And then a real shock. I think we've been riding our luck with these 2 games, but this one was where it all ran out. As Toma Hemed, or however on earth you say that, turned into Lionel Messi. This seems to be a recurring theme. To pretty much give them the 3 points. Dexter Blackstock. How old is he now? He's still only 29. My God. He feels like he's been around forever. But Burns scoring and Woodrow scoring for us. But as you can see, it was a pretty even game. But in fact, if I show you this goal here, I think this is a pretty good goal. It's nicely worked, but as you can see, our defence is just terrible. I mean, what on earth is Dan Burn doing? He scored the goal and now he's got a bit cocky. But that was in the 85th minute, and just frustration was just the key word there. It's just horrible. Ipswich 1-1. Woodrow got us out of jail here. Williams, all the good credit he's built up, he kind of lost here because he just was terrible. Dwight Gale as well. Not quite the player I thought he was going to be. I thought he'd be a bit better than this. 3-9, it's not the worst return in the world, but I was thinking it might be a little bit better than that. And lastly, Nottingham Forest here, 2-0. Nice, good victory. Quite a difficult, hard-fought game. Corley Woodrow finally breaking the deadlock in the 77th minute. It was really tense up to that point as well, because they weren't particularly amazing, but they threatened. They, as you can see, looking at that shots they had, but a lovely cross from Galbot and a great header from Woodrow. I think now he is actually tied with McCormick as on 18 goals each, and a lovely ball again here. Williams back to Christensen, who hits a belter. That's a lovely goal. And that is where we are. So we look in the Championship now. 2 games to go. It's all down to Brentford and Bolton. Brentford themselves are near the bottom. They're 20th. They're on 50 points. And Bolton are 7th, still chasing playoff spot. They haven't got. Obviously, we are guaranteed, as you can see, a playoff spot, but frankly, we need to be able to get an automatic one because playoffs, especially a Football Manager, are a bloody nightmare. Absolutely horrible. I mean, they're horrible in real life, but on this, it's amplified because of this. Well, I don't think you can amplify the playoffs anymore, but you know, it's Football Manager. it does things to you. Incidentally, if you want to have a look at the Premier League, this is right at the end of April, still quite open really. That top four, any of that top four of United, Chelsea, Arsenal and City could win. I think, to be honest, that sounds about right. Then Liverpool come in 5th, Tottenham, and there's a gap to Newcastle in 7th somehow. I assume under Steve McLaren. Indeed, that makes no sense. Norwich, equally bizarre, in 8th. Everton, Palace, Watford, West Ham, Aston Villa, Sunderland, Southampton, Swansea, Stoke, West Brom, Leicester and Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth are down pretty much there. Hazard is 19 goals. Harry Kane all of a sudden has just come from nowhere to get 18. That's kind of funny. And we'll also check on the Champions League. Let's just go through City's thing here. So this is in fact we can always go all through to the semi-final. So Arsenal, believe it or not, Arsenal are actually in the pole position to qualify for the Champions League final. They beat Sevilla 2-0. And Juventus and PSG. PSG, by the way, if you get PSG in the Champions League final, you are almost always guaranteed to win because for the last few FMs, they appear to be programmed to not win the Champions League for about 30 years until the game starts. Seriously, I think across all the Football Managers I've played, they have lost, I'd say, at least 12 finals and won maybe 2. It's bizarre. Anyway, that's thinking ahead. Brentford away. This is going to be tricky. I'm going to change. I've just changed a few players around. Christensen and Kearney. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to just swap him over to the line playmaker. Garbott and Ream. Let me see here. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. That should be okay. And the rest. Yeah, I'm happy enough with that. Okay, let's go. Sorry, I wasn't. Again, I probably should prepare these before the start of the video, but let's say it's live. That's how a person plays Football Manager. That's kind of what you want to see. So Woodrow and McCormick have been absolutely immaculate over the course of the season. They've been brilliant, certainly as a partnership, if not individually. And let's hope they can guide us right through to the finish line here. So what we're actually going to do is, as well, have the league table here, just so we won't have results. In fact, yeah, we will have results. Need to scores now. I don't know. Are QPR or Derby playing? Yes, Derby are playing Brighton, and QPR are playing Burnley. So let's just have that over here, and the league over here. So now everyone's updated. Williams gets it away. Woodrow can chase that. Doesn't quite have the pace. He's not a particularly quick player, Woodrow, but he is powerful, and he's quick enough. Put it that way. He's certainly quick enough. I mean, he's not a speed merchant by any stretch of the imagination, but he'll do a job. Right, is a player, I can't pronounce his name, Jesus. Hits the post, right, okay. We're going to go back to standard here. Back to normal, let's not clear the ball to flanks. I keep needing to change a few of these things. Back to mix, there we go. I keep meaning to permanently change these instructions. That's something I'm terrible at, just... Again, I think I mentioned in the last video, but you sort of become complacent when you play FM. For as long as I have... Oh, sorry. Notice Burnley are beating QPR. So Derby have gone top, but it's still wide open. Obviously, now if we can get a goal... Am I right in saying, Londoners, that this is a West London derby? Or is Brentford not in West London? Because I don't know London geography well on an account I don't live there. But aren't these two teams relatively close? McCormick, 19 goals this season. That is huge. First shot, first goal on target, first shot on target. That moves us up to second QPR. Okay, so Derby, Tom Ince has scored for them. So they're beating Brighton. And Clint Hill did score for QPR, but Sam Vokes has just put Burnley back in front. Okay, definitely worth keeping your eye on that game. Us and Derby then, 83 points apiece. It's all getting very interesting now. Here's Coley Woodrow. Oh, what happened there? I think his first touch let him down slightly. Still only one shot, but it's the one that's counted so far. There's Tom Kearney, good save. Woodrow couldn't quite turn on it. And the defender got the block in. Having a few more shots now at least, that's good to see. Still Burnley 2-1 up against QPR. And is there any more goals? I don't think there is. And Brentford going close there. It's 1-1. Brighton have equalised against Derby. My two old teams going head to head there. And Burnley still leading QPR. So we've actually gone top if you look on your bottom left. We're actually top as it currently stands. But this Jurasin, I think is how you say that. Probably got that one completely wrong. Here he is now. And he's offside anyway. It was a good save by Martinelli. Right, so top at half time. No, I mean it could still all change. There is still one game to go, of course. But I think you would rather be in first position going into the final day, wouldn't you? Right, Kearney, chance opened up for him. Woodrow, surely McCormick, is he onside? I think he certainly is. 20 goals for the season for Ross McCormick. And this is an excellent position to be in. Half time, up 2-0. The others, let's see here. Any more goals gone in? No. There's Hemed again for Brighton. Never even heard of him. Wow. So, excellent. Let's see. Now, I'm not going to change anything. George Williams hasn't been great. I don't think that's his natural position, is it? Might have to change that. Change that in about 15-20 minutes. But for now, it's working for us. I'm going to try and keep... There we go. We can have both scores in the picture there. That's better. So we can see what's going on. Unfortunately, one of the problems is there are other... I wish that very minor feature request here. This would be a good one, would you, if you'd agree. Be able to select which scores you want to see in the latest scores column rather than, seeing the others getting pushed down, like the one you're looking for, and it's constantly moving around, especially, in the Championship, there's loads of games going on. Like, you have to scroll through, and then when a goal comes in another game, obviously to highlight the scorers, it pushes other scores down and up, just down, so you end up losing your spot and everything like that. See, like the way it just moved down then? And minor complaint. I mean, it wasn't even a complaint. It's just a feature request, really. To better the user experience, I guess. So, fairly nonchalant start to the first half. What a block by Fredericks. That was going in. That was pretty much an open goal. But there's a chance on the counter. Ross McCormick here found Fredericks. Gone up the field from that game-saving block. But he's whacked it straight at the Brentford player. Just hate that. Oh my goodness, speaking of hitting straight at the player, Coley Woodrow, it's 3-0. The goalkeeper has just had an absolute nightmare. He's whacked it at Woodrow. Who says these little things don't happen for players, for human players, or only goes for the computer? Absolute rubbish. Button, the goalkeeper, just whacks it at Coley Woodrow. He's got the composure to finish. Goalkeeper started tracking back. Oh dear. Right then, who are we going to bring on? Let's bring on Dwight Gale then for Ross McCormick. In fact, no, let's bring him on for Woodrow just because you don't want to have the opportunity to piss any players off. You'll say, I was on a hat-trick, why don't you take me off? And Christian, so we're going to bring on Knox, no we're not. We're just going to have that for now. That's not me being cocky or anything, bringing on Dwight Gale, he's perfectly capable. And there's a chance again here. My goodness. Brentford are just giving us opportunities, just giving the ball back. And all of a sudden, this could be a rout at the moment. It's Christensen, it's Kearney. That's going to be a corner. So it is in the best possible position. And don't forget, this is really good for our goal difference as well. We're up to 27 now in Derby on 29. So it's really going our way at the moment. If we can get another couple, that would be so handy. Barely a 3-1 up against QPR. Oh my goodness. And Brighton still holding Derby 1-1. Right, okay, we're going to... I'm going to take Stearman off. I don't trust him with that yellow card. Not after Tony Cliff, the other game. We're also going to take Christensen off because he's gone below 60%, and I generally don't like to see players go below that in terms of condition. So I'll take him off. So that's our 3 subs. Let's hope no one else gets injured or sent off now. Here's McCormick. He's got a hat-trick, of course. We'll just run straight into James Tarkowski. The Classic always gives the impression that the players are just really stupid. Oh, Dwight Gale. Oh, nearly went in Tarkowski off the line. It's like the way they play, because obviously it's two-dimensional, so you don't get the full picture, but it's one of the problems. A lot of people say, why do you play in 2D Classic? one, I prefer it. Two, I've always used it pretty much since like Championship Manager 3, 4, whenever that was, I think, or early mid 2000s, and it's kind of hard to look at on YouTube. It doesn't come across very well. Oh, Tom Ince has just missed a penalty for Derby. Drama at the end. Tom Ince misses a 90th minute penalty. Oh my goodness gracious me. That is huge. What an impact. What impact could that have? So Burnley have secured themselves a playoff spot, so they were fighting something. Wow. So let's have a look then. So really, I'm going to just go over this one in my head. If we get a point, no, I don't think that'll work. Obviously, I think QPR and Derby, if they win, certainly if Derby lose by 2 more goals and we get a point, would I be right? No, sorry, no, it's not goals for. Doesn't it go goal difference, goals for, goals against, and then losses, I suppose, or wins. I think preferably we still need to win against Bolton, but it does mean now it could be out of our hands. We can lose, and if QPR and Derby both lose, or if one of them loses, whatever, that means we're still going to qualify through automatic promotion. So in terms of the playoffs here, there's still quite a few teams in it. You've got Bolton, oh boy, they're fighting for it, Blackburn, Bristol, City, Huddersfield, Wolves, they're still all fighting. It's going to be one of those, two of those 5 teams who are going to take that playoff spot. Burnley and Derby have already got theirs. Theoretically, so it's one of us 4 that are going to go up. You've got Fulham, QPR, Derby or Burnley. Burnley, the rank outsiders, obviously they've got to make up. In fact, I probably wouldn't fancy Burnley based on that goal difference. It's one of us 3, so one will miss out. Join me next time to see who makes it. We're at home to Bolton. We're playing them for the 3rd time this season. Let's see how we do. Please join me. It should be a great game and hopefully a great video as well. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you then. Goodbye.